Hey guys, welcome back to an Affliction of the Heart. Last time, what happened last time? I think Kuno got a birthday. That's dope. Her very first birthday. What else was Also apparently like I'm part of one of my friend's Snapchat streaks. I'm not really into like the other social media stuff, so I'm just like what? Anyways, let's just hop right into the freaking story. It's so random. Let's hop right into it. Chapter 10 in Aurora. I guess we're going to talk about drugs today. Anyways, let's just hop right into it. Kuno yawned and stretched slowly, accidentally pushing an empty cake box off the bed onto the floor. Thankfully, the box itself was empty. She had placed Warden's slice of cake in the fridge. Her stomach told her that maybe she shouldn't have eaten so much cake, but she was willing to put up with the discomfort. Okay. Typo! It was worth it. Already Kuno had memorized the date, so she could remember when her birthday was. Okay, already Kuno had memorized the date, so she could remember when her birthday was. Even if she was with somebody else, she would remember her birthday. And then that thought stopped Kuno in her tracks. The changeling sat up suddenly, blinking and turning to stare into the mirror across the room, watching her own reflection with wide eyes. Even if she was with somebody else, was she really thinking of staying here with him? Why not? Why not? Kuno growled faintly, shaking her head and then rubbing her hoof against her temple slowly, trying to clear her mind. It wasn't saying that she was even considering staying with Warden. He was a train wreck in motion, a perpetual mistake. Kuno's eyes fell on the collar around her throat, and she lifted a hoof to delicately prod at it. Her hoof slid over the Kuno threaded into it, and her gaze softened. Warden wasn't so bad. His heart was in the right place. He just needed a backbone, or he was codependent and needed somebody to guide him constantly. The changeling frowned and then dropped her hoof, sighing softly to herself. There was a sound at the door, and she turned to see Warden standing there with a bucket with a spray bottle in it hanging from one wing. I'm off well, I thought you ought to let you know I'd be gone for a little while. Warden finished lamely, looking away. Off to tend to your Aurora plans, Kuno accused. Warden hung his head. I have to. I'm coming with, Kuno stated, slipping off the bed and stretching. I'm not sure what the heck accent was that. We're going to learn about these, aren't we not? I have to, Kuno, or dag, wait, what? The Pegasus did a double take blinking. I'm coming with you, Kuno said calmly, walking toward the door. Show me this plant that's so special. You're ruining your life for it. Warden frowned at that before he gave it a jerky nod. I suppose it can't hurt. Kuno waved a hoof. So, lead the way then. Warden let Kuno outside and then turned towards her, raising a brow. You can fly, right? I have wings, Kuno pointed out with a roll of her eyes. Well, I just thought, Warden shrugged off before shaking his head and then bounding several steps, launching himself into the air. Kuno glanced about, biting her bottom lip. There was a flash of green light, and when it faded, a young blue Pegasus, a green mane, was standing in Kuno's place with a flower cue mark. Okay, what? Okay, she needs to, okay, so do her wings not actually work when she's in her normal form? A younger blue Pegasus with green mane was standing in Kuno's place with a flower cue mark. Change Kuno bounded after Warden, launching into the air in turn. It took several flaps of her wings to get used to the way they worked at the air before she got the hang of it and sped after the Pegasus. Warden was momentarily surprised when Kuno caught up with him, looking her up and down, blinking once before it dawned on him that she had changed. Didn't want to get seen as a changeling, Kuno pointed out. The Pegasus nodded once in understanding. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Warden was momentarily surprised when Kuno caught up with him, looking her up and down and blinking once before it dawned on him that she had changed. Didn't want to get seen as a changeling, Kuno pointed out. The Pegasus nodded once in understanding. It took a good 10 minutes of flying before Warden dipped down towards a clearing in the forest canopy. Kuno followed after him, landing beside the Pegasus in long, soft grass. Warden waved a hoof for her to follow as he started down an overgrown trail, pushing his way to a cliffside and a large ravine that cut down the length of it. Immediately, he started down it. Geez, are we gonna have to insert a bone key into a rock and go down a hidden spiral staircase? Kuno asked, looking up towards the line of sky that was visible through the top of the ravine. Warden blinked once, pausing and looking back at her, bewildered. You've been here before? Kuno blinked slowly. You can't be serious. I'm not, Warden said with a laugh and a sly grin, shaking his head, poking his tongue at her teasingly. You're gullible. Well, your face, Kuno huffed, flailing flailing a hoof at him and snorting. Warden just chuckled and continued down the ravine. Eventually, the ravine terminated in a large clearing covered in a thick canopy with muted shafts of light coming down through gaps in the greenery. The walls of the ravine clearing were slick with running water, and there was a still pool of it in the center, fed by the trickles coming from the rocks. The slick edges of the rock were mossy, and there were creeping vines of some description all over. The vine itself was a strange-looking thing, green with red tendrils running through it, with visible throbbed with brightness as though with a heartbeat. Yellow bulbs were scattered along the length of the vines periodically, with those same red veins and delicate tendrils visible along the closed petals. They're almost ready to bloom, Warden said excitedly, bouncing on his heels and pulling out his spray bottle. Moving up to the first bulb and inspecting it closely. After several long minutes, he gave the bulb a single spray with the water bottle. Kuno watched with mild interest, head to his side curiously. So, you just spray them? Warden looked back at the changeling with a single snort, shaking his head. No, this is a special formula. Is it really, though? The changeling rolled her eyes. So you added a little bit of fertilizer. Actually, I steeped a collection of 5 very expensive, very hard to grow herbs in this water. So to encourage growth in this vine. Aurora is so rare because it doesn't grow in the wild. It was created, Warden explained enthusiastically. And what was it created for? Kuno asked, peering at the vine as Warden went around spraying the bulbs individually, carefully inspecting each before spraying them and the vines surrounding them. Well, it was originally designed as an all-purpose plant. It's powerful and aesthetic when it's diluted right, as well as an amnesiac. Makes it rather useful as a drug for operating rooms because it ruins your short-term memory completely. Anything from when you woke up, you will not remember. But that also makes it a very, very bad date rape drug, Warden said with a deep frown. There was even a case of a pony who murdered his wife and then injected himself with Aurora so he'd forget he ever did it. Kuno blinked and he wrinkled her nose. So it's a narcotic and a date rape drug. No wonder it's illegal. Warden gave a weak laugh at that. Oh, and when you distill it right and mix it with ammonia, the resulting crystals are, well, rather volatile when mixed with simple water. Volatile? Kuno asked flatly. They explode, Warden pointed out. Goodness, it's a date rape drug, an illicit substance, and an explosive, Kuno asked, aghast, staring at the plant. Well, it was manufactured, Warden pointed out with a hopeless shrug. It's a cross between several different plants, actually, which is why it's so damn hard to keep the vine alive and thriving. It was a group of unicorns back in the day who partnered up with the growing consortium of the old Earth Pony Growers League, and they designed the perfect plant, a plant that could be used for anything. They failed miserably and came up with Aurora. They failed, excuse me, what? I say they managed it, but what's the failure in this? They chose vines because they could use vertical space rather than fields, and the Pegasus team could help pick the fruits once it was good and ripe. Don't know who found out about the exploding thing, but it's something to do with the magic that manifests in the plant during the growing phases. Once the sap is crystallized, it dries out so far that the addition of water causes a massive expansion. Then there's friction so great it sets the air around it on fire, and the displaced air causes a pressure wave like an explosion. Apparently, if you set it off in sub-zero conditions or in a vacuum spell, you're left with this fluffy white substance that's softer even than clouds. Something softer than clouds. Damn it, lost my place again. I'm trying to just bookmark the area so I can just see where I need to go. Okay. Not sure what the heck that was. Well, I don't know what that sound was. Okay, don't question it. Just let it be. Okay, so softer than clouds. But why even use it as a narcotic? Why even use it as a narcotic in the first place if it's so hard to grow? Kuno asked, bewildered. Because it's non-lethal. You can't overdose on it, no matter how you take it. No matter how much you take it, you might knock yourself out for a few days, maybe die from the dehydration from not drinking or eating, but the actual drug itself can't kill you. Warden pointed out with a wry smile. Not to mention there are no documented long-term ill effects, well, except the addiction. So hospitals won't pay for Aurora? Kuno inquired, lifting up one of the bulbs gingerly and peering at it. Warden started once. Pay for it? They'd kill for this stuff. An anesthetic that is non-harmful and causes manageable precise amnesia. If it wasn't so hard to grow, they'd stop using morphine at all. Then why not sell it to the hospital? You could get legit. Then why not sell it to the hospital? You could get legit, get a license or a pardon or something from Celestial or something, Kuno pointed out with a grin. And I could have my wings broken by Daggertail and his underlings, Warden stated with a defeated sigh. I'm one of the last growers in this entire region. All of the others either gave it up entirely and sought protection from the Royal Guard, or left entirely. I think they even killed one of the other ponies who could grow it. Kuno split her ears back at that, frowning deeply. And if Daggertail wasn't around, then somebody else would replace him, Warden said with a slow shake of his head. I know you want to help, Kuno, but I'm stuck here. I'm happy where I am. I get to grow one of the hardest plants ever, and I'm good at it, and I guess it makes people happy. And destroys their lives, Kuno added with a single stamp of her hoof. I'm not sure. Okay, stamp. I'm pretty sure stamp means stomp, but whatever. Warden stared down at his forehead, poking at the rocks alley. I guess, yeah, but I try not to think about it. I can't change it, and it just makes me depressed. Kuno frowned at that, shaking her head before she stepped over closer to the Pegasus and then hugged around him with her forehooves, rubbing her cheek against his own soothingly. If I help you get rid of Daggertail, you gotta give me all the love, okay? Okay, what? If I help you get rid of Daggertail, you gotta give me all the love, okay? Warden gave a hollow laugh. If you got rid of him and got his goons off me, I'd marry you. Damn. Warden gave a hollow laugh. If you got rid of him and got his guns off me, I'd marry you. Straight up. He thinks she's joking, but no, she's gonna like. Kuno snorted once it nudged the Pegasus, rolling her eyes. Be careful what you offer, Warden. You're not stupid enough to hold me to that, Warden said with a shake of his head. You're right, Kuno replied instantly. Warden split his ears back at that, giving a soft smile. Kuno snorted once, lifting the Pegasus' head with her hooves. Oh, grow up, she said, licking between his eyes slowly. Marriage is overrated. I'd much rather your goal be to get me into bed. Warden blinked once at that, looking up at her. Kuno grinned innocently. As your wife, I'd make you utterly miserable. Okay, Kuno grinned innocently. As your wife, I'd make you utterly miserable, but in bed, I'd make you love me. The Pegasus mulled over that for several seconds before drawing back and staring at her. How many stallions have you been with? Hundreds, Kuno replied shamelessly. Even some mares. Warden shirked. Pretty sure shrinked back at that, wrinkling his nose. Wow. Hundreds, Warden pointed out, lips pursed. And how many meals have you had, Warden? Thousands? Wait, what? This is her. Hundreds, Warden pointed out, lips pursed. And how many meals have you had, Warden? Thousands, Kuno asked flatly, eyes narrowing. I guess, Warden replied bewildered. Kuno raised a hoof, waving it angrily. That is what sex is to me, a meal. I don't do it for intimacy. I don't want intimacy with the ponies I'm taking love from. I want their love, and sex is such an easy way to get it. If you could get a free buffet anytime you wanted, would you do it? Warden frowned deeply, looking away. Well, when you put it in that way... Good boy, Kuno said, smiling wryly and patting the Pegasus on the shoulder. You haven't been, contemplating seducing me just for a meal, Warden asked, trying to sound apprehensive but coming across more eager than anything else. I resisted the urge, perhaps a few days ago when my reserves were so low. Why do you ask? Kuno inquired, an ear perking. Oh. Changeling can get some fantasies rolling here. Now I see where he's going with this. What a cheeky bugger. Oh, I really like Spitfire, Warden said as he started back down the ravine. Kuno rolled her eyes, following after him with a shake of her head. Her tone turned accusing as she pushed him with a hoof. Pervert. The end. God damn. That last part fucking got me so hard. Like, what? Also, Warden has a little crush on Spitfire. Like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, Pegasus, understandable. Alright, his wife was a unicorn, right? I'm not quite sure. Pretty sure she was a unicorn because he lives in Canterlot. Pretty sure. Anyways, guys, Thank you all for watching and listening to what you guys do. And I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Goodbye.
100,000 stories.